The Rambam's Lauder Award is based on the teachings of the great 12th century sage Maimonides, called the Rambam. He detailed the 8 rungs on the ladder of righteous giving, promoting philanthropy as a high Jewish value. This year, the Oshman family JCC is proud to recognize Lauder with the Rambam's Lauder Award.
You know, I gave my first philanthropic gift to the Jewish community when I was 23 years old, and it was $5,000 to UJA. That was my first major gift. And I have to say that it made me feel like I can really make a difference. And I've never turned back. It's always been upward from there.
I met Laura before she was married. I remember her charisma, her involvement as a volunteer. But I was particularly interested because there were not that many young people in their 20s and early 30s who had donor-advised funds or vehicles at the Jewish Community Federation Endowment Fund. I was always impressed in young people who early on, particularly were used the interest in their Jewish values and in giving back and repairing the world in general, combining those at a very early age, and she's one of them.
Laura and I have worked together on philanthropic things primarily with my giving advice while brushing our teeth, but she has really been the one to have lived these projects and been on the front lines and expending a very large fraction of each day, giving her heart and soul to them. Laura is wonderful at helping people achieve what they can become.
I love her spirit. I love the way she can make people feel comfortable when they're doing the right thing and doing good things. They've been very involved with the Aspen Institute, and coming out of that, they decided they needed to help bring young blood into the Aspen Institute, and there needed to be a program that mixed policy and leadership and values for people who were their generation. The Socrates Society, I think, takes people who are on the path to being very, very successful, but says, how can you be significant as well? How can you give back to your community? How can you work with other people to figure out how to make the world a better place?
To me, the most important parts of my philanthropy is when I help young individuals become great leaders. And I would say that DeLeT, which is the Day School Teacher Initiative that I started in 2000, has found its way to my heart of a place where new teachers can really fulfill their potential, their dream.
Looking at Teach for America and other models, she made a model to bring in and to fund young people to come to teach in day schools, to receive funds to do so, and extra support, which would make some of the best and the brightest young people want to teach in Jewish day schools.
What I admire most about Laura's philanthropy is not her ability to just give to causes that are really good, but to help those philanthropies be as effective as possible. It's similar to venture capital in that with venture capital, it's not just a matter of writing checks, it's having great management to make effective use of that capital. And it's the same thing in philanthropy.
I think what makes Laura's philanthropy really unique is how incredibly collaborative she is in her approach to making a difference. Laura asks hard questions, engages all different sorts of stakeholders and people in thinking about how do we come up with really new, innovative solutions to the problems our society faces today. Laura Lauder is good friends with SV2's founder, and when our founder approached her with the idea of this venture philanthropy giving circle, it was something that Laura supported right from the beginning, and she's led the way for the last 13 years.
Laura is always lively, diligent, hardworking, very well organized, and she has a deep commitment to values, which is really infused in her philanthropy, in her work, in her life, in her family, and her friendships.
Okay, my love, you can light the Shabbat candles.
Laura's greatest interests have to do with the Jewish community and education, and in general, making the world a better place. Tikkun Olam.
We bring in the peace and the light and the warmth of Shabbat. For me, the most important values that I've tried to teach my children are compassion, giving back to the community, are working hard and challenging yourself, and thinking beyond yourself.
She is one of the most inspirational people I have ever met. She is very selfless, and she's always looking in everything she does to help others as much as possible.
She does do a lot of things that I can barely keep up with. She has a ton of interests, and she basically does all those interests in her philanthropy and work.
If you make a decision about giving to a nonprofit that is not something that you care so deeply about, then it never will have the kind of impact, and you won't stick with it over time. But when you really feel strongly in your deepest gut, in your kishkas, about how a nonprofit can really make the world a better place, like the JCC, then you'll always feel like you're connected to that institution, that you'll want to stick with it, and that you'll give your time in addition to your money.
We're thrilled that the Palo Alto built this wonderful JCC with the help of so many other generous and hardworking people. We helped name the pool after Laura's dad, since he's an avid swimmer. It's just a wonderful thing, that pool.
Knowing that there is greater importance to a larger community beyond yourself is such an important value to have. And the Jewish community creates that for every child. And that's one of the reasons why we want to be so philanthropic and create a vibrant Jewish community.
Mazel tov, Laura. I know this honor will only help you go from strength to strength.
Laura, congratulations. Nobody deserves this award more. And your spirit, your belief in both philanthropy, but just the general community that we all exist in this world, that's always impressed me, and I'm so glad this is happening for you.
Laura, it is philanthropists like you that give me incredible confidence that our future is in great hands.
Mommy, I'm so proud of you. You always work so hard at what you do, and you really pulled through, and you are amazing. I love you.
I'd just like to say that I love you so much, and I will always be influenced and interested in all of your philanthropic endeavors. You're my idol.
Sweetie, I'm so proud of you, and you make our whole family proud. Thank you for everything you do.
Please join us in honoring Laura Lauder with the Rambam's Lauder Award in honor of a lifetime of righteous giving.